Good afternoon, good evening, possibly even good morning, and welcome to the Open Finals. That's right, we are in the finals of the Open League today. We have the first game of this series between teams Bottles on Empty and JKLOL. This is the Power Pendant, so technically the third game usually, but they're going to start it off for this series. We got Ninjembro and Kazdin matching up here in Hard MC Shuffle. And in the comm booth today, we got a couple of teammates on the teams. We got myself, Radical Sniper 99 of JKLOL, and Maniacal of Team Bottles on Empty. Good afternoon, Maniacal.
Hey, Jesse. How's it going?
I'm doing great today. This is so much fun.
Oh my god. This whole league has been a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for this finals matchup. We have, like you said, Ninjembro and Kazdin playing this first game, the actual game 3. Hard MC Shuffle is Kazdin's pick. Y'all are the higher seed in this, and so got to pick the game 3 mode. You want to tell us a little bit about what that mode is?
Yeah, so we got a hard item pool. So no silvers, no gold sword, no mail upgrades, 14 hearts max. I think I got most of it. Maybe I'm missing something. And we got MC Shuffle. Yeah. So maps and compasses are shuffled. So every single dungeon has 2 extra items.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I appreciate most about this in terms of the mode. I mean, obviously the hard item pool is great, but the different biasing toward dungeons, given the lack of a dead compass and map check in each of them. I was actually ragging on Ninjembro a little bit in our team chat, just giving him a hard time for like picking hard MC Shuffle in the last round, and then immediately like prioritizing Smith's Chain almost arbitrarily. I was like, dude, what are you doing? But we'll see how the runners do it today. Looks like we have Ninjembro headed for that early uncle, and Kazdin's starting with a little bit of a bush farm here on this green guard.
Yeah, he's
looking
going
to set up a tree pole.
Tier 2, Tier 3, and a Tier 1 tree pole. He's going to try to hit every one of these in his early route. I've gone over this a lot, and how he looks at this, and this has kind of become his new opener, is to hit all of the tier tree poles on his way to doing all this. Plus, we get to check the bush crab, and that's 8 bombs.
Yeah, I feel like if I hit 8 bomb bush crab, I probably bail on going for at least one of the 4 kill pulls. I probably like deboost off a crow and take the tier 2, because tier 3 is just a little awkward sometimes. Ninjembro, meanwhile, finding 300 rupees at the uncle is going to be set up to buy bombs, and probably he'll find his 8 bomb bush crab as well.
Yeah, there's a good chance. I know it's a little less common for runners to go after the bush crabs, but we'll see what happens. So you did say that Team JKLOL is the quote-unquote high seed. Just to kind of describe what happened here, because it is a mess. I have actually the rundown from one of the league admins, Drosy. Here's how it worked out. Both teams won their division, so that was a tie. Both teams went 1-1 against the other playoff team from their own division. Both of them went 9-3 during the playoffs up to this point. Both teams went 2-0 against the third place team in their own division. What finally eventually decided it was Bottles on Empty going 1-1 against 4th place in their division, while JKLOL went 2-0 against their own 4th place team. And to make this even more hilarious, there was a massive tie in JKLOL's division to decide who got the 4th place spot in that set. There was a 3-way tie there, so it took a lot.
Yeah, I knew we were pretty far down the breakers before it differentiated. I figured I would just trust the admins on that one. I went as far as looking at the 3rd place and said, okay, we aren't differentiated yet. I'll see how this shakes out.
Yeah, that was we were only a few steps away from actually looking at a coin flip to decide high seed for the finals.
Yeah, which, I mean, I think the teams are pretty evenly matched. I think it should be a really good series. I think hopefully it'll make a really enjoyable finals series for everyone who's been enjoying the league thus far.
Yeah, this is, of course, the culmination of all this season for the Open League. We are right now in the conference finals, of course, for the Invitational League. And these are two of the teams you're going to see next season in the Invitational.
Yeah, provided both teams decide to come back. I don't know why they wouldn't. We'll both be playing in the Invitational League and seeing some great competition every week next season as well. But this is sort of almost like a little celebration and kind of kicking that off. But obviously, both teams do want to win.
Both teams want a break.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm really excited that this is a matchup with compatible time zones. The bottle vendor there with that fire rod. We've been joking in our team chat that this cost like every weekend for 3 months.
Yeah, pretty much. And I know your team specifically had the cross-continental, or not cross-continental, but a cross-ocean set up for the conference finals. So it is definitely nice to have a common continent, at least.
Yeah, I think 8 of our now 11 rounds were versus EU time zone based teams. It was phenomenal. Nice hammer there in the back of the chicken hut. Obviously, Ninjembro and Kasten both picking that up. Kasten is going to complete the play here and check out the library. Do you know, is Kasten a fan of Blind Race Game, or do you think he's going to scout here?
Was that a bow in library?
I think that was a bow there, boots locked in the library.
Yeah, that was. So here's we actually had this discussion just the other night about, do you blind check race game? What got at, I think most of us would agree, key sanity, you almost blind pull it.
Yeah, definitely in keys modes.
Expect it to be something. MC Shuffle almost has the opposite kind of effect, where what are the items that get added to the pool you care about? In this case, there was a map, but I don't think either of our runners are too worried about that.
Yeah, you kind of let the maps work out organically. 3 out of 10 of the maps are going to be told to you between Sash and Bomb Hut anyway. So
yeah,
you're already 30%.
One of the worthless ones.
Did we see like a Hyrule Castle or a GT map? I think
we got a GT.
Okay.
So we do have the key for Hyrule Castle. So Kazen is going to work backwards. With that fire rod, it shouldn't be too hard. I was going to say, are we going to... Yep, we're going to get the torchlight there.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense. Is, much easier to do Keyrat here with a light source.
Yeah, and Kazen is going to relight the torch just to give himself a little bit of light through the rest of this set. At least the dark portion of the sewers.
Yep, and Ninjembro just a little behind, appearing behind, did do that early Uncle play, so runners are pretty much lockstep, and Ninjembro also was going to light a bonus torch, it looked like. Not sure if that one actually lit or not. Looks like it did not.
Yeah, the hard part here, and it's no real advantage for either runner, is, for Ninjembro, when do you go back to do front of escape now? If it's got something, whereas Kazen might be a little bit early drawn there. Not now apparently, but eventually, to get the other checks in the front, since we know it's just items now. Yeah,
front of escape is looking definitely a juicier play for Kazen than Ninjembro, with Ninjembro -2 from the Uncle checks. Looks like both runners are headed for South Shore, though.
So yeah, we did talk, of course, about the kind of situation we're in with this being the finals, but let's just talk a little bit about how the teams got here, because we're just starting up the series. Bottles on Empty went through a missing 2 bows in the division finals, then faced Blue Balls United, and then finally Lash Locationeers. And your team has seen all the kind of situations here, going with a sweep in round 1, going to the brink with a Game 5 win in the conference semis, and then a 3-1 victory in the conference finals. So you've kind of been playing in all the situations.
Yeah. Even before that in the regular season, good competition in the Desert Palace division is where we were for Bottles on Empty. But especially that conference semifinals with Blue Balls United, found ourselves early in an 0-2 hole in that series, and had to 3-0 to be here playing today. But just speaks to the parity among the playoff caliber teams in Open League. just a lot of really strong teams. Whereas if we look at what the story was for JKLL, y'all went 3-1 in every single round. First versus Rando Babies, then Zelda and Chill, and most recently against Oops All Foxes, another team that has earned an invite to the Invitational League for next season.
Yeah, we've been joking that Kazan has denied Leoria and I a Game 5 co-op reference every week. He's trying his darndest to not allow us to.
I don't know how you feel about that. Ooh, heart stun prize. Ninjimbra's hookshot going a little rogue there, but if it helps any, how did Ninjimbra just walk through that crab? Sorry.
Good old screen transition magic.
Yeah. Good old hitboxes. But yeah, definitely would pick the series to go to 5. Do hope it goes to 5. I think it would be a lot of fun to play some more co-op retrants.
Yeah, and really, realistically, just to kind of give a little bit of insight specifically on our 2 players today, Ninjembro and Kazdan have pretty much been the workhorses of their teams this season. Going into today's match, both runners 12-1 on the season, and have been pretty much both teams' Game 3, Game 4 go-tos. Well, yeah, besides Game 3 being obvious, but Game 4, they have each been like the go-to runner.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, there's some room to flex what goes on in Game 4 depending on like series standing and things like that. But I would expect if we go to Game 4 to see another Ninjembro versus Kazdan matchup is sort of the expectation.
Yeah, so Kazdan is making the play for Sahasrah's Closet here. Not going to completely exploit the Dark Death or the Climb to Death Mountain. And we're going to get that green pendant check, and it is Ice Palace today.
Yeah, it looks like Ninjembro is checking the Lumberjack, finding out nothing's there, and then presumably this is the precursor to him going up and breaking his way up onto Death Mountain. With that hook shot now, that does give him access to East Death Mountain, so we'll see if he finds anything juicy out of logic up there.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kazdan finds the boots out of Sahasrah's Closet. I was going to say, I knew where he was going, but did we miss something and Kazdan's checking something else?
I assume he's going to get his bow.
Oh, duh. No, you're right.
That would be my default play as soon as I find boots here, is to immediately snap go grab that bow.
I went completely goldfish brain there.
It's all right. Cross keys will break your brain.
No, cross keys doesn't do that. I know cross keys.
Kazdan with an interesting dash cancel there. Thinking about maybe not grabbing that bow. But yeah, we'll want to see Ninjembro get over. It looks like Ninjembro is probably going to be doing a slow spiral cave here. So we'll see how this works out.
Now it looks like Kazdan is going to continue this route up to Bonk Rocks at least.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see Bonk Rocks, probably that same Lumberjack check, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is breaking the mountain as well. We might see Kazdan just zoom right on by Ninjembro in one of these checks.
Yeah, and for Ninjembro, like, there's just no reason not to kind of full clear the mountain here. You really have access to just about everything, and we do need those boots for the Pearl, even.
Okay, so now, with mountain not being logical, it looks like we are going to see the mountain anyway. I was going to say, I could see staying off the mountain here now for Kazdan.
Yeah, this is a tough choice. I don't know what the right one is here, and I understand this decision.
Yeah, I think it's a fine decision, especially if you're thinking, well, I've got boots, and if someone else wanted to break the mountain, as we see that Ninjembro is doing, could be a reasonable way to kind of block or protect. We see it is good for a mitt there in the same sphere, or in a deeper sphere, but kind of in the same accessible space.
So this seed already kind of being very generous to our runners. Just so many options.
Yeah, a lot of compasses. A lot of compasses.
Yes. Yeah, I think we saw the joke over in chat saying MC Shuffle does not stand for Map Compass. It is Max Compass Shuffle. So we've definitely had a lot of them so far.
And Ninjimbro clearing out Paradox, taking a little bit of a bomb jump fall. Gonna just route around it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Ninjembro caught an item in midair that kind of threw that off, because that's usually the one thing a lot of us just forget. It's so easy to mess up.
Yeah, I didn't catch whether there was a midair item catch per se, but I mean, it looked like his setup was reasonable. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he might have hookshotted something that maybe a Smoldorm drop in Upper Paradox would be my number one suspicion.
We do have a bottle there on our floating island, and Ninjembro getting locked in by those dead rocks.
That was all him. Like, I'm not going to make apologies for that one. That was not bad luck. He just like set up the gate.
To say completely understandable, I calmed Kazdin's last race, which was an Randomizer, and tried being apologetic for him not checking compasses in dungeons. Talked to him afterwards, and he said, "Yeah, I just forgot."
Yeah, forgot they added that functionality. Yep. So we'll see if he remembers this time. I remember that. That was good for a chuckle. And big key here in the downstairs of Hera. Into dungeons feels good, just on the basis of, well, having more item density in dungeons. Ninjembro going for the tighter bomb Harapot setup, but gets it cleanly anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to call it old school, but definitely not the way that a lot of people are starting to do it. I think we might. I was gonna say we're probably not gonna see hook speed from Kazdin. I know he's more a fan of Philly Pot.
I mean,
so
I don't know how you can not be a fan of Philly Pot, but Ninjembro is the most like strat learning resistant player I know, and I guess you can identify with that. We're talking a little bit about that.
Yeah, there were some discussions heading into this week, all these matchups of just, oh, what do you know this trick or not this trick? And Ninjembro and I kind of were birds of a feather in that regard, going, yeah, we kind of been slow on these.
Yeah, whereas I'd say I'm kind of in the middle for our team, and Barnage is the one who's really driving being aggressive about learning his new strats. So it's always fun the conversations we get into, and Ninjembro getting that first crystal.
Yeah, we also see that we get the small key off of Moldorm, so unfortunately that is not locking itself today. So the question becomes, I mean, I think you have to do this, right? You have to do basement here.
I like playing basement here. It looks like Ninjembro also likes playing basement. With it being out of logic, I can see maybe getting away from it, but I don't. The only thing that I like getting away from it for is for Ninjembro having just found the mitts. Like, you're going to want to be up on the mountain with that Moon Pearl anyway. But he could just be thinking, I'm just breaking around the lamp right now. I've got the Fire Rod. Who cares?
Yeah, I think the only thing that becomes a problem is, do we get like a book here on the mountain checks that we have left? Just something that kind of sends us a little bit further away from Saha's Closet at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, Sash Closet boots with known bow on library is a pretty brutal one, honestly. That's one of those, like, that known bow is driving you away from going into Eastern area, but that's exactly where you need to go to get that known bow. So a little tricky, and maximum compass. Interesting. So Ninjembro is going to take a death here. I'm not sure what he still has left to do.
Spiral Cave, I think.
Spiral. Yeah. Spiral's remaining. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna see a play to do Super Bunny from Ninjembro.
Oh, I sincerely doubt that. That seems very aggressive. Although, I mean, I guess you are like right over there, so maybe.
Yeah, and Kazdin's also setting up for the Death Warp. Although, Kazdin.
Yeah, Kazdin is set up for sure. Gonna have to be good on these tile angles. Looks good. Wasn't worried for a second.
Nope, never.
He is being good about not angering any of those red Stalfos, though.
So here we go. Spiral Cave ending our light Death Mountain checks. And half magic. That's a great find.
Worth it.
And I think that, I look at the items we've got. I think for K's, and that means we're going to get Super Bunny Hookshot and probably Spike Cave.
Yeah, I mean, that all seems like the sort of default play here from Kasten's standpoint. The only thing going against it is that you still are out of logic, but I mean you came to the mountain in the first place, so make that play. And Ninjembro is the first back to that front of escape.
Yeah, surprised by the play. I mean, I think there's definitely more drive to come here just based on that knowledge that there isn't a map, but it's still, I'm definitely surprised by the move.
Yeah, I really think it's just trying to put off Eastern area until post boots. Just with that known bow. I feel like anything else on library except bow, and you probably are over in Sash earlier, but...
Oh my gosh, another compass. Can you believe it?
I can. And Kasten into the Dark World checks. These will be things that Ninjembro did not get well over here. That was not able to see.
Yeah, the interesting piece here is, do we find a lamp or a flute somewhere on Dark Death Mountain even? Can we kind of piece together the rest of the logic just by what we find here?
Yeah, you always are on that Death Mountain break very acutely aware of what you find and if lamp or flute shows up down logic of that so that you know what was supposed to get you to the mountain, just because flute can be so consequential. Nothing in Super Bunny. We'll see what Hookshot Cave has today, but first we're going to get our Turtle Rock Medallion knowledge. Like
that was
Quake?
Yeah, looked like Quake to me. And nothing in the front of Escape either.
Except for the old Zelda's Cell Heck Your Death Warp Heart piece.
Yeah. Luckily, we had done
the rest
of it.
It's always there, though.
And it looks like Hookshot Cave is doing just as good of a job for us, except for that blueberry.
Oh. Heckin' berry. That's okay. Kasten's got boots, so he's already up time, and looks like Ninjembro is about to get his boots, and we'll see how hard this salts Ninjembro.
Yeah, and Kazen's starting to think about how does he want to play this. I wonder if we see Eastern into Pod.
I like Eastern Pod.
Or Pod into Hype into Pod? I don't know. But there we go. Ninjembro getting his boots and deciding to also bail on that area. Completely understandable. And yeah, no Spike Cave from Kazen. We do see that Thieves is a crystal and Meyer is a pendant.
Yeah, with Meyer pendant knowledge, they're on top of that Ice Palace knowledge. I really like... And Ninjembro is actually using those out of logic mitts, so this is a new check here at King's Tomb. But I like just sort of staying away from getting too far out of, I guess, what you're trying to get done. I'm not sure how I like the King's Tomb check from Ninjembro, but it's good for information. Oh, and he's thinking about those bonk rocks. Good thing, too. And we're going to get that bomb shop information, 5-6 crystals. I like going to Pod here, though, for Kazen.
Yeah, we got Turtle Rock and Hera. So we already have one of our 5-6s, but that second one is one of the hardest locked in the game. So unlikely that we need Pyramid Fairy today.
And looks like for Ninjembro, we're going to go get that bow. Then we'll see whether he ends up over in Dark World or not. Oh, he's going to check his Magic Bat first, though. As Kasten's headed to Pyramid.
Nice
Was powder on mountain? I think it was.
Yes, that was, I think, one of our Paradox 5 items.
Okay. Yes, this is a nice little route for Ninjembro, getting to do both of those north boots checks, getting to knock out this powder. Those are some small upsides of doing that Death Mountain early. The big downside is not having boots for running all over the mountains. So
yeah, we kind of saw that ability for Kazan to just really close in on that distance where they were both in Hera at the same time, with how much time Ninjembro had been there before.
absolutely. And it looks like we are getting that play into pod. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ninjembro make the matching play here pretty quickly. We'll see what he chooses to do, though. He is over here already with the mitts, though, so does have pretty easy access, and so may just be looking at Thieves Town as a convenience play first, since odds are we've got a crystal there.
Yeah, I mean, Burna with half magic makes blind pretty trivial at this point, so not a bad fight there.
Yeah. No sword to slash the curtain in Skull, but otherwise, Skullwoods, if we find a sword sometime soon, entirely doable with that Fire Rod.
Yeah, and we have so much health to begin with. Like, even with knowing that it's going to be green mail and potentially a fighter sword, not a bad fight.
No, I mean, you don't get yourself into hard MC shuffle without being okay with some fighter sword boss fights. I mean, that's kind of what these runners are coming and expecting. So you can't shy away from it.
Yeah, I think the hard portion is kind of just a moot point for both of our runners. They're just going to say, I don't care. And, I was about to say, are we going to get the hover? It looks like Kazan's going to try to give us a hover, but realize it's not happening and not going to push it any harder.
Yeah, that's a tricky hover, to be fair. You have to change directions at the right time and everything. Kasten, definitely the better hover in this match, but is aware that Ninjembro will not be hovering today. And so probably doesn't want to waste too much time. Just take the one-shot free roll and then get out of it.
Yeah, they did kind of joke about that in the pre-race. Kazan was like, oh yeah, hover seed today.
Hover seed definitely would favor Kasten, but we do have that early hook shot. So thankfully the race is not going to be a did you hover or did you not hover classic. But we have both our runners in different dungeons, and Ninjembro finds the flute in Thieves Town.
So there's that logical mountain access for the mitts.
Yeah, that does put us back in logic and says that flute's going to be, or the lamp is going to be somewhere, and it could be just about anywhere.
So both of our runners working through a dungeon. We don't know. Oh, we know Thieves is a crystal, but we're still unsure on pod status.
Yeah, we know crystals in Turtle Rock, Hera, Thieves, and do we know any other ones?
We know on the pendant side a little bit, but yeah, not too much else.
So 80% that pod's a crystal right now is sort of where we are, because we know 2 of our 3 pendants and we know 3 of our 7 crystals. So odds are we're getting a crystal here on Kasten's side as well, but we'll see. I personally am not a huge fan of Swordless Dark Basement, but Fire Rod makes it not so bad. Swordless Dark Maze maybe is less a favorite for me.
Yeah, I wonder if we see a little bit of use of Burna to kind of get through if we're having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah. I feel like it was actually in your most recent Cross Keys race, you did a very nice Swordless Dark Maze, so very doable.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And with the boots, we have options to see even a little bit. But we do know that our Harmless Hellway is going to be an item today.
And Book of Medora here in Thieves as well, so...
And with that flute, it's not a bad idea to just kind of go to desert and go for the full clear.
Yeah, I mean, you've got boots, you've got flute, you've got book, you've got fire glove. Like, I mean, you've got everything you could reasonably want, except for, you know, good sword or silvers. But, you know, not finding silvers today because hard.
And we are going to see that hammer jump. Unfortunately, Kazan getting pushed all over the place.
Yeah, and does recognize that this is in the same super tile, so does go downstairs to get the reset.
Yeah, I'm guessing there was something with the Ancilla getting all messed up. Possibly by the fairy? I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the setup, I just saw the result. But yeah, if there was a fairy, those things love to mess up Ancilla. But there, he's across, and I like the choice to top hammer jump here. I find this Dark Maze much, much easier in reverse.
Yeah, especially given the fact that, you know, we want to be able to get out of this to go beat the dungeon, and we just don't have a mirror to make this easy.
It's true, he is going to want to leave through the maze. So far, things look like business is booming. Looks like he's right where he wants to be for that top left chest. Gets that heart piece. And yeah, using his arrows to good effect. Yeah.
And Kazan found the Kidango to get him the rest of the way done.
Hey, sometimes that's better than the door.
Yes.
if we're being honest. And Ninjembro, with boots and hammer, but no sword, still has to do slow pegs.
Yeah, and I feel like that's part of the reason Kazan went with the pod play, is just said, I want a sword.
Yeah, pod has a ton of items in it. And Ninjembro fortunately finds a sword. So, you know,
we also got a map check real quick, and I saw a crystal at Swamp Palace.
Ooh, Crystal Swamp. We're pretty far away from that one, but you know, in terms of mirror and flippers, both still outstanding. So far, this pod hasn't really had that much for Kayston. Ninjembro did get that flute, book, and first sword out of the Thieves and Village area, and he's going to take that sword up to immediately go do Skull. I like the decision.
Yeah, we got a 4-item Skull Woods here, or possibly 4 items. You know, it could just be more maps or compasses. But yeah, this is an easy play to make. You know, keep on clearing dungeons.
Yeah. This is one of those things where, like, teammates who are very resistant to learning strats, Ninjembro refuses to learn this mummy statue room.
I was gonna say that, you know, you hope for something off of that. You almost hope for an item drop off of one of the berries, and unfortunately nothing to kind of delay that Wallmaster.
Yeah, it does get through it pretty cleanly, but... And, ooh, Kayston getting the torch, getting good setup here for his Dark Turtles. Wouldn't want to miss this. That was very well done.
Yeah, this is... And that's why I think he was comfortable with making this play. Is just said, you know what, I've got my fire rod, and there's my visibility. Like, I can do everything else here.
Yeah, fire rod, half magic. Like, you're set. Does make it into Helma.
Yeah, just gonna have to be a little careful here. We don't have any way to set up spin speed for this fight, so I imagine we might get a bow Helma.
Yeah, I certainly would not want to do hammer Helma, at least post mask break. So yeah, it looks like we are getting that bow. Does have plenty of arrows, but Helma is being... Ooh, Helma. Cooperate, bud. Oh gosh.
Oh man, that is scary.
Okay.
Whew.
Sweats it out. Ninjembro, meanwhile, Hammer Moth, good fight.
Yeah, nice Hammer Moth there as well. So 2 bosses going down on both sides. Big key. And there's another sword on Helma.
All right, and crystals all around. So yeah, both these guys are pretty good, it turns out. Both making it through.
So yeah, we did get another piece of info. I guess that means it's either Desert or Eastern is our last pendant.
Yeah, Thieves' Skull, Hera, and Pod, all known crystals, as well as Turtle Rock and Swamp, so we only have one remaining crystal to discover.
Now, Kazan is not hitting King's Tomb. I think he just forgot it existed just now.
That seems fairly likely, yeah.
And yeah, we might see Kazan actually, I don't know. I think you go start Scold and go south.
Yeah, with the sword already, I like starting Skull here. It's just the cleaner macro route. You don't expect to find your Master Sword or anything, so I mean you have half magic Fire Rod. Hammer. It's all pretty good. But yeah, also there's a defense for skipping King's Tomb there just because it is still out of logic. And so just trying to be like, hey, I'm going to prioritize the in-logic things.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of an alternate route from Kazan here. He knows he's going to come back out anyway to get to Thieves Town. So he's going to do this front. He likes checking that first chest on the right, finds that small key and says, well, I'll just do the front now.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I especially like it with Mirror, but no Mirror yet, but still a fine route. There's probably like 7 or 8 different defensible ways to route Skullwoods.
We found another sword.
Both runners are going to feel happy about that.
Yeah, I think Njembro might have said, oh, I wish I had that earlier, but okay.
He had a good Hammer Moth. It's all fine.
And yeah, that means we're not probably going to see where that 4th sword was today.
Yeah, we might see a green 20, but we're probably not going to see a sword. So Ninjembro, all the easy calls are out of the way at this point, but I kind of expect Pod Eastern to be the next thing up.
Yeah, I think the only thing he might get turned towards is the Desert Palace play. You know, activate that flute, maybe check out Desert and the Mire area.
Also very reasonable. I'm trying to remember exactly what crystal knowledge Ninjembro has right now. I don't think he's been to Bomb Shop yet, so he's got a more incomplete picture.
Yeah, he's unaware right now that Hera was a red crystal and is still unaware of Turtle Rock. But I think he's got the same information that Kazan does at this point, besides.
Oh, and Mad Ewok Herd calling me out a little bit. I appreciate it. Pointing out that our tracker, Tofile, is doing an excellent job and tracking runner-independent knowledge in terms of what each runner knows. So we can see each runner's knowledge represented in the Crystal and Pendant tracker at the bottom. So huge ups to our tracker, Tofile.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Kazan taking down Moth, gets that big key and is going to be finished up there as Ninjembro heads to the least hype cave. So, although, I mean, Ninjembro was running low on bombs, so maybe that is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare that you end up with a seed that you just don't go to Hype Cave. That said, I did have one the other day where I did never make it to Hype Cave, but it was SMZ3, so I don't blame myself too badly. But usually it's going to be a wash. Like, you can just trust that every player is going to go through Hype Cave at some point. And Ninjembro is going to head for Pyramid here. This is going to bring him sort of back toward parity, although he is on Oko now. I don't think there's anything that could not kill him if he got hit, but does pick up the Tree Fairy.
Yeah, nice little piece of knowledge there. We don't see that too frequently, but it does look like we're going to get to see the pod play from Ninjembro. So really, they're just trading dungeons at this point. Both runners really making great progress here.
Yeah, Ninjembro probably will have a little bit of an easier time in pod just on the back of having those swords for the dark segments, but Kaysden didn't get hung up too badly when in pod, so it's probably just going to be basically a wash.
Yeah, one of the things that we can say, though, is I think we're going to get to see at least the blacksmith turn in from Kaysden. Ninjembro skipped picking up Jeremiah, whereas when Kaysden gets that flute, you know, he's going to say, well, why shouldn't I at least check at least part of the smith chain early?
Yeah, since you're going to want to activate that flute, it makes a lot of sense to do the smith there. You know, kind of what I was talking about earlier, hard MC Shuffle does devalue the smith relative to what it is in many modes, but doesn't mean it can't have the item.
Yeah, I think the big thing to always remember with this mode is, yeah, you know, 2 extra items per dungeon, and it's really, I don't want to go out of my way for a single check. If I can make a line of checks, like in this case, hitting Jeremiah as well as getting the flute activation, that's a good set of checks together. But for Ninjembro going back, no. There's no reason he'd want to do that.
Yeah, I am okay sort of living and dying by smith chains skipping in hard MC Shuffle. I would be at peace with it, and Ninjembro could blame me for that if he loses to smith chain.
I was gonna say we can both be to blame for either one of our teammates today, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the fun things about this league is there's been just a lot of great team discussions and coming to consensus on like what good decision making looks like and sort of how to game plan a lot of these matchups that have just happened sort of behind the scenes, not like what you're seeing play out, but very influential in what you're seeing play out game to game, week to week. It's been a lot of fun to work with other players and just kind of see what we can make happen.
Yeah, you're kind of seeing the final product here of just a full season of effort, and you know, we kind of forget the fact that the practice that goes behind it, you know, the late night races, the discussions with, you know, not only your teammates but also groups that you just kind of get used to playing this game with.
I know personally, I really value a lot of the discussions that we've even had, you know, with other teams, like during match series and after match series, just sort of reflecting on how things went and what worked, what didn't. A lot of great players in the league and a lot of great discussions engendered through the gameplay situations we've encountered. But we are seeing Kaysden and Ninjembro sort of retrace steps. Once Kaysden finishes here in Thieves, it looks like the premier options are sort of take that, I mean, do some limited overworld, do smiths and whatnot, but take that book to Desert or get back over to Eastern. How do you feel about the various sequencing options, Jesse?
So I was going to say, I don't know which one you kind of prioritize. I almost feel like you prioritize Eastern just because it's a little bit quicker of a dungeon to get into at this point. I don't know. I think that's... like, I like the idea of checking Desert, but if I can get a mirror before having to do Desert, I'd be a lot happier. How about you?
Yeah, I do like I like that. With Meyer being a known pendant, though, I do kind of want to actually go to desert before I find that mirror, just so I don't have to make that choice. So I could see maybe doing desert, since Eastern's sort of just always on an island anyway. It's kind of zero sum when you do it. I don't know. I like to route in a way that I don't force myself to make tough choices. And Pendant Mire to me is a tough choice.
There's the book for Kazan. I was gonna say he has powder, and it's kind of just saying I don't need to check it, or I don't need to use my powder.
Yeah, Ninjembro kind of activist with his powder, already has it at the ready, but does take that death warp here.
Yeah, nicely done. We saw the alternate route from Ninjembro getting out of there, so, or the front, going from the front instead of from the hammer yump.
Yeah, he did maze forward. Did a good job with it. And now it just has to go through to Helma.
Yeah,
presumably will be our first.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, presumably will be our first to a third sword.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're going to get to see some different strategies for these two bosses. Ninjembro able to go with spin speed, Helma, whereas Kazan can go onto blind script.
And actually, I think it might be pretty close in terms of the third sword, whether Ninjembro gets to and kills Helma in time, or Kazan gets down and just does hammer pegs. He will be able to do fast hammer pegs with those swords.
And there we go. Blind going down for Kazan for his fourth crystal, as Ninjembro heading towards the pod basement for his.
And Ninjembro with sword beams here should have a pretty reasonably quick basement. We'll see how Kazan chooses to route. Looks like he is headed over here first to do his hammer peg, so will be the first to swords. Doesn't have that mirror, so is sort of betting against mirror at exactly hammer pegs, which is generally a good bet.
Yeah, no hammer pegs or dig game or stumpy, he's thinking, so.
Sees a third sword, thinks about it, says, yeah, I'll grab that.
Yep. No questions.
Yep.
And we got a nice burn-a-dash there from Ninjembro.
Yeah, I've been liking burn-a-dash with quick swap in that room.
Yeah, really nice way to set up that key dash.
Yeah, it can set up your key dash, and then also it has the advantage of just not needing to deal with those two rows, the 2x2 turtles.
And we actually get bow strats from Ninjembro as well. Able to get the last few arrows in right before that fireball attack.
Yeah, saving a little bit of time there on his Helmet King fight, but with having Master Sword, not at all surprised. Also, Kazan got some brutal Helma patterns.
Yeah.
That was remarkable to just make it through there. Sitting in a, the 5 safe pixels or whatever.
Yeah. And I was about to say, is Kazan saving and quitting? No, I think he is still going to pick up Jeremiah before going to activate his flute.
Yeah, I mean, this very reasonable. Would have been a bit aggressive on a saving quit, but now we get that saving quit for that flute activation, whereas Ninjembro is just going to be activating his flute, so we might get double flute activations here. It looks like Kazan's going somewhere.
Is this a mushroom turn in real quick?
Yeah,
I'm honestly a bit surprised by this play, just because you could flute there instead, but okay.
Yeah, this is a bit weird, because you aren't really going to want to scum the mushroom since you already have the powder, although maybe he's just forgotten about his powder? He hasn't been using it.
He can't forget it now.
Yeah, I mean,
he had to menu off of it.
Yeah. But, it seems like he's been playing powder just doesn't exist, so... maybe.
And we are getting the desert play from Ninjembro.
And just to be clear, we the commentators, me and Jesse, are teammates of the runners, and we'll rag on them, but a lot of respect for their play.
Yeah, believe me, it's all from a place of love, nothing else. Oh, he remembered also King's Tomb. This makes a little more sense now.
We'll see what Desert has today for Ninjembro. What Ninjembro really wants to see here is Mirror. I'm going to try and speak that one into existence. I might not be as good at it as you are, though, in terms of the swords.
That was just luck. I don't know.
To be fair, there's one mirror, there's 4 swords.
Yeah.
So like,
it only just so happened that 3 of them really occurred quite simultaneously.
Yeah. It was nice that we didn't have a seed that was decided by sword disparity, honestly.
Yeah.
Where like one runner found all the swords and then one found none of them. They kind of traded spots, ended up with 3 swords.
Well,
even if his second medallion.
Yeah, even if Desert is not a required dungeon in terms of a crystal pendant, we do have to go here.
Yep, gotta get over to the right side to that top chest there for that Quake medallion to get into Turtle Rock today. Right now, nothing really to do with that. Ninjembro does not know his Turtle Rock medallion, but we'll see how that maybe plays or doesn't play in his decision on whether to, head to the mountain to get those Dark Death Mountain checks. Did Ninjembro check Desert Ledge?
I'm guessing he had to have seen it.
Yeah.
Like, you have to run by it to get into Desert if you flute there.
Yeah, okay. And I did not catch what it was.
We
do get that
either,
powder check.
So.
Apparently it wasn't anything because he didn't go down and grab it when he was leaving through Desert West. And now we get to see what Kaysden does. It's sort of Desert against Eastern here.
And it looks like we're getting the Desert play from Kaysden as well. So no real advantage gained here by either runner choosing to potentially skip Desert.
Yeah, and it was a map on the ledge there. Half Magic and Fire Rod going to do plenty of good work here on this land mode. That was kind of a scum hop from that first one, though, for Ninjembro. But cleans it up with an early second cycle. And just Quake.
And that means that Eastern Palace is going to be our last pendant today.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see if either of our runners goes there. So both of them made the right 50-50 call, but if a required item ends up in that last pendant, could be a challenge for both of them.
Yeah, the statement about, little bits of time given up to either runner or to either player at this point. Nothing too major. Yeah, Kaysden has done the DDM checks, has done the Smith. So a little bit of an advantage there, but Ninjembro, of course, a little bit ahead on the dungeon. Although Ninjembro actually walking out of Agina.
Okay, and looks like Mire area is on the menu with the mitts now in Logic. I, don't hate knocking out Mire Shed. It is pretty modular to do, but does get that intel on the Bombos medallion for Mire entry.
Yeah, not looking too likely that we'll see that play, but there is the Red Cane.
Oh.
Wow.
All right, so now you're slamming that Dark Death Mountain immediately.
Yeah, for Ninjembro, the 6 checks on DDM are already huge, and then knowledge on Turtle Rock is the other big piece.
Yeah, that Mire Shed check is sort of out on an island. definitely one of the overworld things that I could see Kaysden getting to quickly, but I could also see a runner very reasonably staying away from for a bit, just because it does require a separate flute and check in what is a pendant area otherwise without the mirror. So we'll have to see when Kaysden gets there to get his red cane.
I think with that, Meyershed's at least some of the quickest overworld checks, so I don't think he leaves that for too long. So probably not a huge advantage, although, oh, this is huge as well. I hadn't even thought about this one. Ninjembro going to give us Ether Tablet, and this is kind of becoming one of those last location type spots.
Yeah, if this Ether Tab like is your Ice Rod or something, then that's going to pay out huge, but instead it pays out huge with $20.
Yes, Kaysden did get Quake out of the right side of Desert, so he's just clearing up that dungeon now for Crystal number 5.
Yeah, both our runners fully clearing Desert today. We'll see how much Turtle Rock Ninjembro wants to do. If I'm Ninjembro here in this situation with a known Eastern Pendant, no clearable crystals aside, I'm immediately mashing that yes to Turtle Rock button. Already really has Ether menued.
Yeah, when you don't know a medallion and you're coming up on Turtle Rock, you just switch to one of them, usually Ether, because you kind of want to put yourself in the middle medallion spot.
Yeah, Ether with that quick swap is the default play.
And it looks like Kaysden might skip. Yeah, he's going to skip Agina at this point.
Agina as a Sphere 1 check with so much stuff behind is a little scary when you have potential Ice Rod hunts, but definitely not a surprising skip.
So yeah, we're gonna see how Kaysden decides to approach this next moment. You know, Cane of Samaria does kind of hint at Turtle Rock, so does he start kind of playing chase to Ninjembro here?
I don't see a lot of great options that aren't Turtle Rock here with Meyer closed off by Bombos.
And I was gonna say he's on the mountain, but he swapped to Flute, so the mountain's not even his thought. He doesn't want to go into Turtle Rock here.
Oh, are we going back for Agina?
It looks like it.
That's a call. This is surprising to not do this earlier. Good screen routing, good dash routing. Maybe just forgot about it and then sort of like had that brief moment of panic of I'd rather not risk losing it all on one thing like this. Like probably the if this is Ice Rod, am I okay with putting myself on the mountain?
And still not going back to the mountain. I'm not sure. Oh, front of Hyrule Castle. So this is, Kaysden continuing to kind of clear out the earlier checks.
Yeah. And with Ice Rod being a suspicious thing, I never am going to fault anyone for saying I do not want to have left my Ice Rod in Sphere 1. Two smalls and one item in the front of Turtle Rock for Ninjembro. It's pretty much got to be here. Very limited overworld or Eastern at this point, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at... I feel like we might not find the Ice Rod here, but one of the other pieces is going to be here in Turtle Rock.
I am inclined to agree. The situation Ninjembro's in where you just end up at Turtle Rock here with that Meyer Shed cane. It makes so much sense, honestly.
Yeah. Now
Pod was pretty empty.
Yeah. Besides that sword, we really didn't get anything.
So that may, the problem is Bow in Eastern is exactly pendant Armos Knights. Like, I'm not super excited about what Bow buys me over there.
Yeah, the bow really did not get us anything. So if you're thinking like if you follow spheres and believe that progression leads to progression, like yeah, it almost feels like you have to go there.
Yeah, good point from chat about the spike cave. It's a pretty reasonable check following Turtle Rock if this is a bust.
Oh, Spike Cave? The
Yeah.
only problem there is Ninjembro isn't going to have a great route back to it if he doesn't find a mirror.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is kind of a... There's not a lot of ways to get back to it. None of those ledges actually allow you to drop down.
Yeah, you're not getting anything out of... Like, you're not skipping Big Chest for it, so it is kind of on its own unless you find mirror. It's good point.
Okay, so Kaysden pulling out that flute and going... Here's the Eastern play from Kaysden. So if there is something... You know, we're going to find out where this next step is. There's our first bottle.
All right, Big Chest Turtle Rock with the first bottle. Comes with a free B. Not really top of my list, but half magic tempered sword. You know, the runners aren't too worried.
Small key in Crystal Roller Room. And we've got 3 chances left for Ice Rod. One of those chests we do know is a small key. It is a question of, is it in the other 3?
Yeah. Are we looking at Eastern Palace Lamp at this point?
Well, there's our big key, so Armos is in logic.
Great. Yeah, whatever happens here, this feels like this series of plays could end up being pretty decisive in this match just because this is such a great bifurcation point for the runners.
Yeah. I mean, it could always be that nobody wins from this play, but you feel like one of these has to kind of work out.
Yeah, and only one more check for Ninjembro here.
And wow, nothing.
Turtle Rock was not it.
Yeah, Turtle Rock completely empty today.
So where do you go now if you're Ninjembro? I mean, maybe you go to Eastern. I'm surprised Turtle Rock was that big of a loss. And
there's the flippers.
That's not what you wanted to see.
But here's the bottle turn in from Ninjembro.
Yeah.
And it's not on the bottle either.
Yeah, so it was a bust there. Flippers and capes so far in Eastern.
And yeah, chat pointing out, you know, we kind of just keep on kicking the can down the road on where our lamp is. Every check just becomes another option that is not the lamp.
Yeah.
We have not seen Spike Cave.
Yeah, we haven't seen Spike Cave. We haven't seen any of the flippers checks.
Yeah, and I think there's a good chance Kazen does flipper checks before going into Ice Palace, even with this equipment.
Mm-hmm. And looks like Ninjembro is going to follow right behind into Eastern.
Yeah,
Not surprised.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, while Ninjembro didn't get anything out of TR, the one thing we can say is he's... I don't want to say at an advantage in a sense, but there is almost an advantage in having done so much of Turtle Rock and immediately going to the next, you know, dungeon instead of trying to do overworld checks. Kazen hit a bunch of overworld checks, and until, you know, nothing paid out for him.
Yeah, until something shows up in sparse overworld, that's going to just end up being a time loss for Kazen. Gave back probably most or more than the time of those early boots at that point from just doing overworld that just didn't happen to work out. So if Ninjembro can avoid that and, you know, follow what he finds here in Pendant Eastern, that is the flippers, potentially that cape, those are going to be the things that look like, unless it's here on Armos Nights, are going to have to pay out.
Yeah, we'll be curious to see if Ninjembro decides to bail once he gets flips. I can't imagine he does, but if you're feeling a little like you need to be aggressive here just because of, Okay, so he's not. He's going to continue. But I was going to say, if you feel like you have to be aggressive leaving with those flippers after going through Turtle Rock, maybe he thinks Kaizen makes the same play, so.
Yeah, I think Turtle Rock seems like a fairly high-value play. We'll see if Kasten ends up there at any point, but I expect this is the flute to 8.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's quicker to go 8 or 4 to hit Hobo first, but... Okay, so he's not even worried about doing Ult Man at this point. He's going to actually check the Waterfall and Zora.
Yeah, so we'll see what's going on over here. The Zora check, just because it's been in Logic for so long, a little less compelling, but it's just good to get it all done here at once.
Oh, and wow.
There's our Ice Rod. Ice Rod on Zora Ledge, a classic in its own right.
And let's check out what we have on Zora.
So, with this, I think you may stay away from Green Pendant Ice and just go look in fully beatable Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just say this: the disrespect towards the Red Rang there. I'm just hurt so bad. Wait, Kasten, please.
What? Seen it, got it was going on there in Kasten's brain there for a moment. But yeah, this looks like it is the straight to the mountain play, which we know is not going to return the mirror.
Well, we don't.
It will return a crystal. Oh,
well, technically, we could see it on Trinex.
That's
and the
fair,
other piece here is, Kaizen is going to give us a Spike Cave play before going into Turtle Rock. He says, if the mirror is there, in Spike Cave, we're set.
And I like this choice. As a bottles on empty player, I don't like this choice, but I like this choice from a rational actor gameplay perspective for Kasten.
And here we go. Ninjembro also going to start making these flipper checks. I imagine... Okay, so we're going to get to see the Hobo first.
And for Ninjembro, there's just less incentive to follow that Ice Rod with Turtle Rock already cleared out. That if Trinex has exactly the mirror, that's going to be, basically a W in Kasten's column. But otherwise, it'll be really interesting to kind of see what the route is post-flips here.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to see how Ninjembro handles this, because it is one check for him. He'll know that he is going to be mirror from go, and it's just a question of, do you want to do a climb that might not pay out?
I think you want to do Green Pendant Ice, honestly. It's 6 items against 2 on the mountain.
So Kaizen is also going to give us that Ether Tablet check, so not forgetting to leave that one. If that's the mirror, I think both of her runners would have felt really bad if that was mirror.
Yeah, definitely. It is the other thing that the book gets you, other than, like, pedestal knowledge. But with that Bombos medallion still nowhere to be found. I don't think we're very likely to see a pedestal chase anytime soon. We could see the old fire rod locking Bombos in Ice Palace meme though.
Maniacal, did Ninjembro just save and quit without picking up Ice Rod?
I think he got it. No, he stopped.
Oh no,
Ninjembro? Yeah.
Ninjembro. And I think he realized it
Yeah.
himself. Oh man.
This is. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's a little bit of a bonus here.
Yeah, this is extra time for Kazden to kind of clear out Turtle Rock, which is not a slow dungeon, even with Ninjembro having to do the double dip.
Yeah, this is a good old seen it, got it sort of situation for Ninjembro. There it is.
So yeah, Ninjembro did not pick up the Ice Rod before saving and quitting.
I think he'll be able to get it this time. It's tricky, but I believe. This is one of the strats that I know he has practiced.
And this time he's going to walk out of Zora. We'll see
Very
where he
clean.
goes. Is this going to be an Ice Palace play for Ninjembro?
I really expect the Ice Palace play here. I'm expecting to see a flute to 8. Oh, nope. This looks like it's... Oh, okay. I thought it was a flute to 1 there. I was like, whoa, that is surprising. Yeah, this is the 6v2. I do like this play from Ninjembro.
Yeah, it's the gamble at this moment. If it's there, he's able to avoid the extra dip of the mountain. Both players have made 2 dips at this point, realistically.
Wow, Chomp just scumbag eating the Samaria block there. Why is left Chomp always such a jerk?
See, the goal is the Chomps are supposed to just, allow you to sword beam or set up the Samaria block exactly the way you want it. But yeah, this is another one of those plays that if Ninjembro finds the mirror here, this could kind of set him back to an advantage. Whereas for Kazden, if it is either on Trinex or Pyramid Fairy, could have the opposite effect.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is... Kazden has a route ahead of him, Ninjembro has a route ahead of him, and one of them is going to pay off and one of them isn't. Is pretty much what it looks like, unless it's... I mean, what else could it be at this point? There aren't really weird one-offs that we left behind. Did Kazden get all the way through Purple Chest?
Purple Chest was not checked. We just saw the Smith.
Okay, so yeah, unless it's Mirrorless Purple Chest, which I think both runners get to pretty darn late, we're not going to see the routes converge. We're going to see one runner probably end up with an advantage out of this. At least I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something.
No, I mean, at this point, I think you can say, honestly, like, both runners have been very strong, and there it is.
Oh, wow. So in Ice Palace, Ninjembro finds his go mode. For Kazden, he is going to be up completing Turtle Rock, but Ninjembro is going to go mode Swamp here. Go mode Turtle Rock on the replay. And we just want to see Trinex not be specifically Bombos Medallion. I think that's...
Meyer's done. As you said, this is go mode.
Well, yeah, I just mean for Kazden still looking for the mirror, because I see, like, if you spike Bombos on Trinex, you don't go to Ice. Like, you just...
I don't know.
Chase the play you've got.
No, I think you chase Meyer or Ice either way.
Okay. I'm more inclined to make the down logic play, where I'm like, I just got my Bombos off Trinex.
See, and I would go the opposite of saying, I know that Ice is a lot quicker than Meyer.
Very, very reasonable. Although, 4-item Meyer. But either way, Bombos is probably just chilling in GT at this point. Or here in Swamp. We'll see. Ninjembro doesn't really have many checks many things he'd be looking for at this point, given that it is hard item pool.
Yeah, Lamp really locked a lot, or locked nothing, I mean, in this seed.
Yeah, Lamp is... Who the heck knows? Our runners aren't going to find it today, I don't think.
Yeah, and as we said, this isn't a seed where it's been, one runner really kind of outperforming the other. It's just been a set of choices kind of leading to this moment where Ninjembro is going to have a little bit of a lead.
Yeah. It was the decision to go to Mountain early by Ninjembro, sort of locking him out of plays that then locked him into plays later. It's just been a cascade since that very early juncture where Kasten got his boots early.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the choices, like I think the one thing we can say is Kasten's just been a little extra thorough on the overworld, and it just hasn't been an overworld seed.
Yeah, Kasten is up the Smith turn-in, I think, at this point. And I think Ninjembro is up Hobo at this point. And Kasten's up Spike Cave as well. Otherwise, I think they've gotten back around to the same things.
Yeah, you might be right at this point, actually.
I think that Ninjembro did clean up a lot of it. It really is the Smith that Kasten's up. But definitely was thorough earlier. Did route those things in a more completionist way. But we'll see what Kasten does now. Whether it's that play into ice or whether he chases something else.
Meanwhile, Ninjembro on his crystal number 6 fighting Argus here. And yet we're going to get Pyramid Fairy from Kasten.
Yeah, and this I think is... Oh, no, yes, no, maybe.
a step ahead.
Yeah, he's like, we get the bomb, then we go right.
So we got another map check from Kasten there. I'm kind of curious why. Was there possibly a mismark of Crystal Pendant?
We know he had the bomb hut info. I don't know if he had the swamp crystal info checked, but I think that was the only one I'm not certain of. Ninjembro trying his best to deadrock himself again. Deadrock's non-compliant today. Fairy,
question in chat,
bucks.
What phase of the tournament is this? This is the Open Finals. These are the last 2 teams alive in our Open League. So,
yeah. If you like Open League, enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
There's not much of it left. There's not much Invitational League left either, so if you enjoy ALTTPR League, enjoy what you've got. However, I do hear murmurings, Jesse, of maybe an unofficial Open Bronze match going down.
Yeah, it does look like the teams who got knocked out in the conference finals last week, the Oops All Foxes may be setting up a little bit of a bronze, I don't want to call it a grudge match, but a bronze series.
Yeah, series scrimmage, whatever it may be. Not officially for anything, but it's another matchup of 2 teams that will be in the Invitational League next season, and that it's going to be an extra chance, hopefully, if some of those get officially or unofficially restreamed, to see some new Invitational v new Invitational player, sort of just games. And these have been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the players who are in the playoffs will tell you, some of the most fun they've had is just play these playoff matches, because realistically, these have been the competition to kind of say, okay, who am I going to be up against soon? And I need to, shape up and feel like I'm ready for that invitational style.
Yeah, beautiful bomb pen gators there from Kasten, by the way. Just don't want to short sell the fact that he is making the right play into Ice Palace following Pyramid Fairy. It is the density play for him and showing off some really nice strats right now as Ninjembro goes through Turtle Rock. But I will echo what you were saying for sure. I've the reason that I play Randomizer competitively is for these high quality good matches, these really tight games, and just like the pressure of competing in frankly difficult or tough matches. And so playing these playoffs have been so fulfilling from that perspective that I'm not surprised to see all the players echoing that and wanting to enjoy just a little bit more of it.
Yep.
Yeah, Kasten is close to getting his mirror here. We'll have it fairly soon. Ninjembro will have a little bit of a chunk lead here, already being up the mountain, ahead of Swamp, and into Trinex, through Trinex, probably going to get a Crystal Catch before Kasten is in Swamp. I see third Bottles on Empty teammate Barnage. I also see third JKLOL teammate Leoria in chat. Barnage a little surprised or was unaware of that unofficial series. I'll say I just learned about it last night as well. I think it's a newer development, so
Yeah,
happy to be able to kind of foreshadow that or share it with everyone.
Yeah, it's news to everybody. But I do see a bunch of numbers in chat because Ninjembro has 7 crystals, and he is making his way to GT now. So, 1 to 22, we don't know where it is. They don't know where it is. Where is it?
Hopefully somewhere that advantages, like, compass left routing, because I know that Ninjembro is locked in on compass left. We're philosophically in similar places in terms of variance minimization and things. Actually, of the aforementioned great conversations with other Open League playoff competitors that we've had, I think me, Ninjembro, and Structural Mike must have gone deep for maybe 2 hours on variance analysis in GT and just discussing sort of what your various route options are and what the pros and cons of them are. I know Structural Mike, very good player from our last matchup, last location years, was just a joy to chat with and go deep about those things. And at the end of the day, Ninjembro will not change his mind about compass left, but the numbers back him up.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of got their style. Like, I think what you tell new runners is always, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for how to route GT. Just be consistent. And I say that knowing that there are terribly wrong answers for how to do it, but if you do one of the common strategies, you're fine.
Yeah, you pick something, you get comfortable with your room strats, and you trust that the advantage of any route over that is more than offset by the disadvantage of comfort. Kasten going with a nice bomb diver down here in the back. Just opening the hearts, and torch big key there for Ninjembro. So I guess 7 is...
Yeah, that is a number 7. Let me scroll through and see how many 7s we might have had today. Looks like the only one we got... Yeah, it looks like the only one we got was a Link to the Past Ken.
Yeah, Link to the Past Ken, a ladder grinder for sure. Had the read, had the 7 read, so GG. Ninjembro with a bit of an unorthodox Mimics too there, but gets it done. I kind of expect we might see Josh Fairies from Ninjembro here on 5 Hearts.
Yeah, did Ninjembro fill up a bottle ever?
I think he did when he did the late mushroom turn-in, yeah. I think he picked up at least 1 blue. He went from 1,000 rupees down to about 700, so I have to think that some of that was getting a bottle. And he is not getting Josh Fairies today.
And yes, Thelonious, I missed that you did rate the torch. My apologies. I looked solely for numbers.
Oh man. to be fair, with Ninjembro being so fixed on his routing, unless there's no small key, torch is identical to 7 for Ninjembro.
Yeah.
It's like the 3-7 option, but most of the time it's going to be 7.
Yeah, I have a very similar thought on it, and it's, that's kind of just what you, like we said, if you fall into your strategy and just keep it, it's not too bad.
Yeah. Kasten does get through Swamp, does get his 7th crystal, is also going to be on his way to GT. I don't know what route Kasten prefers for GT, but most routes find Torch pretty quickly, unless he is a hard right to Armos Knights player. I don't know that there's many of those out there.
Yeah, I think it's very key dependent for some people if they want to do those kinds of strats, so. Because as you said, like, there's the data.
Yeah, the keys, the small keys especially, do influence some of it. I am too smooth brain of a rando player to really have most of that built in. So, I don't allow that to influence how I'm routing. unless the small keys say no, you can't go there, I'm just going to do what I want to do every time. Remember, taking his refills here, dropping into Moldorm 2. Oh, Kasten's a right-left Hope Room player. Guess that probably is a small screen optimization if you gamble on it being a small key. Otherwise, it's kind of a wash, right?
Yeah, I mean, if there's no key, the mirror doesn't make a difference, but...
Yeah, and if there is...
Key aren't planning to go right, you want to be able to just hit that Samaria directly below you.
Yeah, I've always been a left-right router on that screen, just because of reading, I guess. I don't know. This is... Kasten's draining his magic a little. I'm not sure what those fire rod shots into the wall were.
Probably an accident.
Yeah, oh, it looked like maybe he thought he was menued to Kanan was going for like a Brahmin block blast type strat. I'm not sure, but cleans it up. And clean Aga 2 from Ninjembro. He'll be dropping into Ganon.
Yeah, it looks like Kazen's going to be just a GT climb behind, so not a ton of distance. Both players really doing a great job here. But this is definitely well in favor of Ninjembro to finish this one out.
Yeah, I mean, at the level of execution these guys have, you just don't expect things to go wrong with 13 heart tempered silverless Ganon. That said, weirder stuff has happened. I knocked myself off of the off of Ganon Phase 4 before on like gold silvers before my 4th silver the other day. So even the easiest Ganon fights can go sideways on you from time to time. Kasten getting a little beat up there in Mimics 1. Nice Mimics 2 strat he sent. Oh, I'm sorry, Kasten. I did not mean to curse you there. It looked great.
We all have it happen sometimes. As much as we all practice these.
Yeah, I mean, race nerves and just like being 95 or 98% on a room means that 2 to 5%, it's going to do something like that. And
yeah, we will talk a little bit more, hopefully, in the interview, but yeah, the second and third games, or games 2 and 1, I don't know how you want to refer to them. The wisdom and the courage pendants are also set for Monday and Tuesday. So we will be seeing more matches in this series soon. After the holiday.
Yeah, we're taking a little bit of a holiday break, and then I guess you and Barnage are playing on Monday at 2:10 p.m. Eastern, I think. And then
Yes.
me and Leoria are playing Tuesday at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Channels TBD.
Yeah. Expect somewhere on the SpeedGaming family of channels.
Mm-hmm. As Ninjembro, so far, Ganon going pretty cleanly. Looks like he's setting up for the easy low triples and finishes it off.
Yeah, nicely done there. And GG's to Ninjembro, finishing with an official time of 1:28.50 to give Bottles on Empty a 1-0 lead in this final series.
Yes, absolutely. GG Ninjembro. Good race. Good race to both Ninjembro and Kasten. Kasten's still on his climb. And looks like Ninjembro's in here already. GG's, dude.
Yo, GG's.
Yeah,
Let's just ignore the ice rod thing and talk about everything except for that.
I mean, you both almost did the same thing. Kazan was actually looking at it on the ledge and selected, and we're like, what are you doing? And then he went and grabbed it. We kind of missed when you save and quit immediately.
Yeah, fortunately I was starting the flute to 8 to go into Ice Palace, and I was like, wait a second. I never actually picked up that ice rod.
Ice. Somehow ice sounds really familiar.
Right.
But yeah, overall, both you guys had really, really nice runs. It was kind of differentiated just by Kasten got his boots much earlier than you, and like there were just some trickle down effects of how that influenced when you went to the mountain and things like that, what your loadouts looked like. Like you had mitts ahead of doing some of the other things, and just the way the pieces fell together, it made sense for both and just ended up getting you into Ice Palace earlier. Yeah,
like I thought about that when I got the boots. I was like, wow, if Kasten went here really early, they got these boots, they went and got the bow, they might even go into Eastern, and then when I found the flippers in Eastern, I was like, oh no. But both Case and I were talking in the race time room, and it seems like he left Eastern until quite late, just like I did. But yeah, finding those boots where I found them, I was just like, oh no, it's one of these seeds where I get semi-punished in terms of boots location.
Yeah, and I was saying, with the known bow behind boots, I thought you were just dodging the Eastern area, hoping to find the boots ahead of like getting your bow to head over there. So it was sort of just a bad break on location.
Yeah, and pretty much exactly that. Like, since I had... So the main reason I didn't head straight to Eastern at that point was just due to that Dark World access and the fact that I had broken Death Mountain pretty hard. I was just like, well, there's a lot I can do in Dark World now, right? I was like, why should I even bother going to Eastern right now, even though that seems like the correct play to do? Even though without the mitts, I still have that logical Dark World access. I was like, there's really no reason to go to Eastern here, because I might find the mirror somewhere, and then I can do the pod Eastern combo, and like this was just like a really weird, but also like pretty interesting seed to see how it unfolded logically. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was definitely a cool seed. It made for a really good race, really fun race to watch. Like I said, the decision making made a lot of sense from both sides, and it was at one point it was you were in Turtle Rock and Kasten was in Eastern, and it was just like, okay, whichever of these pays off is probably going to be the advantage. But then it was Flippers, and Flippers then got the ice rod for Kasten and sent him up to Turtle Rock. Whereas you had already been in Turtle Rock, so it sent you over to Ice Palace earlier, and so you were able to get the mirror there. And so it was just kind of like, okay, whichever of these it is going to be very influential. And then it ended up kind of flipping because it was the flippers and not the mirror that showed up.
Yeah. Also, like, shout outs, like, to a Turtle Rock that is just screaming, "Hey, come here," because I probably have one of your multiple required items that opens up something else that you can go do, and having exactly 0 of those things.
Right there with you. I mean, that's exactly what I was saying. I'm like, find that Cane and Meyer shed. I am slamming the Turtle Rock button right now, and you did it as well.
I'm
seemed
like
exactly the right thing to do.
I'm like Hookshot Cave, Super Bunny Cave, 6 items out of Turtle Rock. Like, something's got to be up there, right? Nope, not at all.
Meanwhile, Kazin finishing up Ganon, and so get your GGs in chat for Kazin, finishing with an official time of 1:33.55, so about a 5-minute difference there.
Yeah, definitely. GG's to Kazdin, who I see is also here in setup and has come up. GG, Kazdin.
Hey, GG's.
Hey, GG, Kazden.
So yeah, this was a really interesting one, Kazdin. You had the boots earlier, which led to just and that got you the pearl before you're on the mountain, gave you more complete Dark Death Mountain early, and then it seemed like you were just sort of more thorough with Overworld a little bit earlier, but we kind of did the bookkeeping on it, and it looked like you kind of ended up at parity where Ninjembro had, I think, Hobo that you didn't at the end, and you had Spike Cave and Smith Turn-In that Ninjembro didn't have. But I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah, just the way things, kind of the way the items panned out. Like it was funny. I was listening to the tail end of the interview with Ninjembro, and you're exactly right. With I got the flippers out of Eastern, and I immediately started thinking it was, either I'm getting my mirror here too, and I can go straight to Swamp, or I'm gonna get something else, or I'll just head straight over to Ice. But then I think I think Quake showed up there for Turtle Rock, and I think that's what just sent me. It's like, okay, well, I know this is a crystal. Let's just go clear it. Like, Turtle Rock has to have the mirror. It just makes sense. So that's what's kind of sent me back up the mountain there.
It was Quake and Ice Rod as well. It was just like...
Yeah.
And Ninjembro responded similarly when he found Cane and Meyer shed because he hadn't done all of the Dark Mountain. It was just like, okay, well, this is a great excuse to go up and like go dive this, this Turtle Rock with all these items in it plus the mountain. Where you went to Eastern very reasonably, having done all of the Dark Mountain stuff already on your first trip. So it was boots to Moon Pearl early made a huge difference.
If I would have done Ice Palace before doing the other flipper checks and gotten the mirror before the Ice Rod, if that changes things. Because if I get the mirror and Ice after I'm clearing the dungeon instead of getting to leave right after the mirror.
And
but
I think
I would go do the flipper checks right after that. So I'm not sure
ahead of
how
Swamp?
that would play out. I don't know. That does open up Swamp, so that probably would have been worse. In hindsight. That probably sends me to clear Swamp. So
that would have been my inclination, is if I get mirror in Ice there, that after I get the items I need out of Ice, that I'm going to Swamp there as fully beatable Crystal. But especially with it being Map Compass Shuffle and devalued Overworld. So I don't know. I think it's tough to stay away from Turtle Rock in the situation where you had Ice Rod, you again fully beatable Crystal ahead of you.
Yeah.
Why would Mirror not be there?
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what I was thinking. It's like, okay, it's gonna be in here, and then whatever else,
I will point out one thing chat wants to say to both of you. How dare you both skip the red rang?
If it was a blue rang, I would have picked it up.
I thought I was actually going to get it due to my location. I was like, oh no, I'm getting this red rang, and I was like, oh sweet, I skipped it.
The other thing that happened to me was I went full NMG while I was going up to Zora, and I was dashing over to him. I was like, I completely forgot to scout the ledge. So I just paid him off, and I was like, I'm just going to go blind check it, and then I get it on screen. I hit select to save and quit because, it's going to be nothing. It's always nothing. And then I see ice rod there. I was like, oh, glad I didn't skip that.
Yeah,
that would have been real bad.
I'm lucky-ish that my last attempt at an NMG run was about 3.5 years ago, so I don't have that mindset.
Yeah, my last attempt was last night, so
I've been meaning to get back into NMG a little bit because I think my PB is something like absurdly high, like a 137, because I attempted it for like 3 weeks in 2018 and then never bothered since then. So maybe one of these days I'll get back to NMG attempts and at least go for like the 1-2x or something like that, because I feel like it's gotta be in reach.
So world record.
yeah.
No, absolutely not. Okay, so 129XX. But yeah, that was that ice rod. I was saying before you got here, Kaizen, just like the whole fact that I got to Zora and then saving quick from Zora without actually picking up the ice rod was just like. There were two very big, hilarious mishaps I had this seed. That was one of them. The other one was dashing straight past bonk rocks and then having to go back to bonk rocks.
I've done that so many times.
Because I also had the mitts already, so like I'm one of those people. Like, thankfully I noticed it because I'm one of those players. Like, especially when I have boots, I'll start like pre-tracking locations when it's convenient to do so, and I intend to hit them. So I already had the mitts, so I was doing King's Tomb, and I tracked that I had already completed Bonk Rocks, and I was on the screen with the fortune teller, and was like, "Oh crap! I didn't do Bonk Rocks. I need to go back to that." And of course, it's Pearl. There was a time in like 2017 or 2018 where I was restreamed on one of the SG daily races, and did that exact same thing, but did not end up going to Bonk Rocks, and it was progression, and I had to forfeit the race because I had no clue what I missed.
Oh, no.
So fortunately, this did not end up like that.
Yeah, I remember I'd seen you in some of the tournament stuff back in the day before I had even started playing. So it's kind of crazy to be here in league finals playing against someone I used to watch back in the day.
I mean, and as a team, like you guys have done great to get here. Like, I would say. Not to speak for Maniacal or Maximum Barnage, but like as we were looking at how the brackets were unfolding, we were pretty much kind of like, if we get to the finals, like we have a feeling that we're going to be going up against JKLOL. Like obviously anything can happen. It's rando and it's not a guaranteed thing, but we were kind of like we have a feeling. So it's interesting to kind of see that, this is where we're at, and all the teams played very hard and played very well, and there's got to be teams that make it and teams that get eliminated, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast. But it's really exciting to be here, and I'm excited to watch the rest of this series. I said in our scheduling chat, like originally I was scheduled to be traveling for the holidays, and things happen, and that's not happening anymore. So I'll be able to actually pay attention and watch games 2 and 3, and possibly even commentate. So,
cool.
Silver lining, make the best of a somewhat crappy situation, but it is what it is, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the series plays out.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just an excellent series. I think in games sort of 1 through 3, all three of the game 1 through 3 matchups are compelling and interesting. So I think that it's a good time to sort of focus on hyping those upcoming games. We have on Monday, the 27th of December at 2:10 p.m., my co-commentator, Jesse, Radical Sniper 99, versus Maximum Barnage in Cross Keys. And then Tuesday, December 28th at 8:10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have me, Maniacal, versus Leoria in Casual Boots. And then in Envy League, if you need something before Monday, we've got a 4:10 p.m. Eastern Titans Mitts versus Skull Kids, hard Randomizer between two folks you may have seen play against one another somewhat recently.
Yeah,
we've got Dante versus Gamachu.
Yeah, a little bit of a grudge match here. If you missed it, this is a rematch of our main tourney finals. So not too much of a different mode, just the addition of Randomizer.
And then Monday morning, 11:10 a.m., we've got Relkin versus Raymond as well in Cross Keys. So, and this is going to be, a couple days off. Take tomorrow off. Take the rest of the day off. If you celebrate Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. Enjoy the time, and then get ready. Sunday afternoon, we're back at it here with more League.
Yeah, those two series over in the Invitational, Titans Mitts are up 1-0. Whereas Spoilers and Pug Trio are currently tied 1 game apiece. So next week we'll kind of finish up the the Invitational Conference Finals to set up their finals match as Open Finals works through their finals.
Yeah, and so we'll see. I'm predicting this Bottles on Empty versus JKLOL series goes to 5. I hope so. I'm looking forward to, potentially games 4 and 5 coming up, but at least between Monday and Tuesday, we'll see games 2 and 3 and see how those break. Otherwise, I don't think there's too many other points I wanted to bring up. Kasten and Jembro, do you guys have anything else you wanted to discuss about this one?
I don't have anything else to say about the seed, but just the normal, thanks to you, Maniacal, and Jesse, Radical Sniper, for comms, for Top File for doing tracking, to the whole Restream crew, and GG's to Kazin for a great race. None of these things happen without the runners, but also the entire crew that's working behind the scenes to make this all happen. And to everybody, since it is Christmas Eve, happy holidays, regardless of what holiday you may celebrate. This is a really fun seed, and I'm looking forward to see the rest of the series unfold.
Thank you, Ninjember. Don't think that I have much to add on top of that. Definitely big shout outs to Tofile, our tracker, who did an excellent job tracking, as I said, individual pendant and crystal knowledge across players, keeping us straight here in the booth. Jesse, thank you for joining me today on comms. Really appreciate it, and I'll let you take it home for us.
Yeah, so thank you once again, everybody, for hanging out today here on Christmas Eve. And hopefully we'll see you for the rest of this series, as well as the invitational matches coming up. And if nothing else, do remember to follow all of your Speed Gaming channels 1 through 6, because not only do we have great Link to the Past content, but tons of other speed running events for you to check out. There is a daily race tonight as well, so if you want to see some more Link to the Past and don't have anything else going on this evening, I believe it's 9 p.m. tonight. We do have a festive randomizer race happening as part of our daily series, so do make sure to check that one out if you are available. It's going to be, I believe, the 2019 or 2018 festive mode for Link to the Past randomizer, so that's always a fun time. The devs really do put a lot of great work into making that feel just oh so special. So if you're available, hopefully we'll see you then. If not, have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you all next time.